Well, hello there, Slav Polinski Homes. I hope you're doing well. I am here with your real estate market update for September of 2025. We're heading into that last quarter of 2025, and I have some very interesting data to show you today. One thing I can tell you is, home prices here in the Midwest are still climbing, but there's an interesting twist and something has changed, and I'm going to get into that as I show the data. What I wanted to really bring up is the fact there's a lot of news out there that home prices are plummeting, the market is crashing, there's all of a sudden we're in a buyer's market. What I can tell you about that is certain areas are experiencing either some or all of that. Florida, for instance, certain areas of Florida, it's very common for homes to be on the market 6 months right now, and with quite a few price reductions. Same thing I'm hearing Texas, Arizona, and so forth. The states where people flocked to back in 2020 when we had the pandemic. Many reasons is number one, the overall cost of living has increased. Some of these states like Florida, all of a sudden people are finding their HOA fees going up dramatically. Homeowners insurance skyrocketing. And plus, the actual cost of living, grocery prices, healthcare, entertainment, and so forth, and all of a sudden is putting a pinch on them, and they are moving out of those states to states where there's more jobs, job security and stability. And that's why here in the Midwest, prices are still staying strong. We are seeing some adjustments, which I'll get into, but we're not seeing what some of these other states are seeing at this point. The data I'm going to share with you today is going to be Downers Grove, Naperville. I'll cover DuPage County, and I'll give you an overview of Will and King County as well, the two counties to the west and southwest of DuPage. So let's start with Downers Grove and the average sales price going into through the end of August. And as you can see, we had an 11.8% increase on average, topping out on average of $639,290 compared to 2024, which was $572,058. So yes, home prices in Downers Grove are still staying strong. So how about the available homes in Downers Grove? As you can see, we are down 8% from last year at 45 compared to even 60 for the month in 2023. So we are still experiencing a shortage of available homes for the buyers out there in 2025 as we're going into September. What's interesting, right? This is what's interesting. Let's take a look at the market time. It has gone up 60% since 2024, August of 2024. And what we're experiencing, and I've been talking to other realtors in the area as well, and this like towards the end of August and Labor Day and last week, all of a sudden the buying traffic has slowed down considerably. And the buyers that are out there, they're not feeling pressured to make a decision on the spot like they did last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and so forth. So there's still buyers out there. They're still willing to pay the prices in Downers Grove, but they're taking their time. They're waiting for the house that works for them, and they want to make sure they're making the right decision for them and maybe their family. A couple years ago, it would be unheard of anybody being able to get in for a second or third showing. They had to make that decision, that very first showing, maybe the whole showing time was 20 minutes. They have to make a decision on the spot. And now I'm starting to see buyers requesting a second showing to see it again or to bring their family in before they make that decision. So let's take a look at what's going on in Naperville. As you can see, the average sale price has increased by 4.5%, $770,847 compared to $737,889 back in 2024. So Naperville is still experiencing increasing home values. Available homes for sale, they actually have an increase of almost 12% from the 2024 and almost at the same level of 2023. Something to keep in mind, we compared to 2023, we were still had a shortage back then. So it's nice that we're getting up to 2023, but we have a ways to go before we start reaching that balanced market here in Downers Grove and Naperville. Let's see what their market time is. And they have an increase 10% over last year. Definitely below 2023 levels. But again, they're starting to see the same thing where buyers are just a little more cautious and taking their time to make that purchase. So this scenario is a little, let's say, strange or unfamiliar to people buying and selling right now. However, from my experience in the real estate business, we are back to where we were prior to the pandemic, where things in September, especially the beginning of September, slow down, especially if the buyers have a family. They just got their kids into school, and they're getting settled into that, and looking for a home is not at their top priority. The other thing is, interest rates have come down this last week to an average of 6.49%. And again, check with your lender to see what interest rates you qualify for, because it does vary depending on your financial situation. And that's all good that the interest rates are starting to come down. But keep in mind, buyers are dealing with other increased costs, cost of groceries, insurance, both for cars and if they own a home currently, entertainment costs, dining costs, all of that is starting to put a little bit of a pinch on them. Before making that extra financial decision of home ownership or a larger home, they want to make sure that it's the right fit for them. So with buyers being more patient, sellers today also have to be a little more patient with the process. They may have been used to seeing their neighbors sell in 1 or 2 days not that long ago, and they're expecting the same thing. However, the way things have shifted a little bit, it may take a little bit longer to get the home sold. So looking at DuPage County as a whole, DuPage County has also shown an increase in sales price by almost 4% over 2024. Homes for sale, they're seeing an increase over last year as far as available homes for sale by almost 6%, still down from 2023 levels. And the market time, a little bit of an increase, almost 7% over last year. And when I looked at both Will and King counties, it pretty much mirrored the same thing in DuPage County. They had a little bit more spike in the inventory, but the sale prices have still been increasing. And the market time is also increasing. So in summary, here in the Midwest, we're not experiencing what they are in Florida. I had a great conversation with my managing broker, and one of the comments he made was, you follow the jobs. Where there is a lot of industry, where there's a lot of available jobs for people, those areas will hold their values longer. Will we see a correction? I am thinking we'll have to, right? Because prices going up cannot last forever. Eventually, they're going to level out. They may dip down a tad. However, if you're a buyer right now and you can afford it, that's the most important thing, is that it fits into your budget. And you're going to stay in the house and your job is secure. Real estate's always been a great long-term investment. When we bought our house in 1998, we weathered through that huge spike around 2000 in home values when the market went crazy, and then the market collapsed right a few years after that. We've stayed in a house since then, and our house is worth much more than what we originally paid for, or what it was valued in 2000. If you're a seller considering selling your home now, or maybe in the spring, my recommendation is number one, price it right. Price it where the market is now. Overpricing can end up working against you. And number two, patience. Homes are taking a little longer to sell than they did just a short time ago. Now, as we move into the fall and winter months here in the Midwest, and then into the spring, it'll be very interesting to see how things progress. Will interest rates continue to go down to make homes more affordable, and how will that affect the amount of homes coming on the market and bringing in more buyers when those homes are more affordable to them? If you're considering selling in the Chicagoland area or South Central Wisconsin, give me a call. I would love to help you realize your real estate hopes and dreams. And if you have any questions about any specific area that I haven't covered, reach out to me. I would be happy to share that information with you. Until the next time, make it a great day.